Halloween, everyone, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erin. If you have not been here before, welcome. If you guys follow me on Instagram, you will know that I have been decorating the house for the holidays. When I say holidays, it makes me sound like it's Christmas. For spooky season, the best season of all, in my opinion. But I really think the walls could use a little more spookiness, so I decided I wanted to make my very own bat garland. I see these all over Pinterest, and I think they are so cute. So I decided to make my own, and I'm going to show you guys step by step exactly how I made this so you guys can follow along and make your own bat garland. I will have a step-by-step guide as well on my website, heyerinpayne.com, if you want to follow along with the web version. Links for that will be in the description, as well as links to my social media. Since Christmas is coming up right after this, you can expect a lot more holiday DIYs and more house videos. So definitely consider subscribing if you are into lifestyle type content. The only supplies you really need are black construction paper, or I recommend using cardstock. You are also going to need some black twine, string, anything like that, some black wooden beads. I just had some brown assorted wood beads, and I just spray painted those black. And you're gonna need a hot glue gun if you're using construction paper, or cardstock, and scissors and a pencil, and that's pretty much it. So the first thing that I'm actually going to do is spray paint these wooden beads that I have. You can use dye if you want to dye your beads, or just buy black beads if you want them to be black. I just have these in my craft closet, and I have some black spray paint lying around, so I'm just going to spray paint mine. And I recommend having some kind of fork or something to move the beads around so that you get all edges of the beads if you're going to spray paint them. And make sure you are spray painting outside and you know, in a cardboard box or something like that. Now while my beads are drying, I'm going to go ahead and cut out all of my bats. So you're gonna wanna make a stencil. You're just gonna trace that one over and over again. You can either print one that you like off online, or you can, you know, trace something, or just freehand it. So I just freehanded this little bat, and I've made a stencil. So to do this, you are just going to take your black construction paper, or another color since we're just making our stencil, and we're going to fold our paper in half. So I'm just folding mine hot dog ways. I'm gonna use this to cut out some bats. So if you're using a graphite pencil on black paper, it should show up just fine. All right, folding it lengthways, and then you are just going to freehand half of a bat. And the reason why we're just doing it half and folding it is so that we get a perfectly symmetrical bat every single time. So I've already created a sort of dummy bat. So I'm going to be creating and tracing this every single time so all my bats look the same. So once you've created your dummy bat, you can either keep folding and making sure they're perfectly symmetrical, or you can just use your dummy bat and just trace the whole thing out on your paper, and that way it won't have a crease in the middle. So it's really up to you if you are confident in your cutting abilities. It doesn't have to be perfectly symmetrical. I'm just gonna go ahead and keep my paper open so I don't have that crease. And I'm just going to trace this and cut out all the bats. And I'm probably going to need around 10 bats across is what I'm thinking for mine. It really just depends on how long you want your garland to be. Remember, you're going to need double the bats because they're going to stick to each other like this. Okay, so now that I have all of my bats cut out, I'm basically going to start creating the garland. First, I'm going to start by making a loop on one end of my twine or string or whatever you're using. I like to do a loop instead of just a knot, so that if I want to hang it on a nail or loop it over something, I have that option. So here I just have a loop. And we are also going to need to cut the length of our garland. I'm going to lay this out on the ground probably and just space out the bats visually and see what I like. So this is about how much I need for 3, so I'm just gonna go ahead and double this for 6, and then triple it for 9, and then I'm gonna add a little bit more because I'm going to be tying knots and everything, so just sort of eyeballing it. So now that I have my string cut, basically all I'm going to do is I'm going to thread one bead up until the knot. And I have lots of different size beads, and I will put down in the description and on the screen exactly how big they are, but these are just the beads that I have lying around, so whatever size works for you. Actually, I'm gonna tie another knot after my loop, and then I'm gonna thread the bead on, so about there. And then after you thread the bead, you're just going to tie another knot to secure that bead in place, like this. And then I'm going to go a few inches, and then I'm going to glue my bat onto the string. And then after the bat, I'm gonna go a few inches, tie a knot, thread a bead, tie a knot, go a few inches, do the bat, and then I'm just gonna alternate back and forth until I have my whole bat garland. So the trick here when you're gluing the bat is to make sure you are putting the string up near the top part of the bat. If you put it right in the middle or down near the bottom, you risk your bats sort of flipping upside down. So you want them to be up here closer. So I'm basically just going to glue a sort of tunnel for the string. So I'm gonna put one here, then a strip here, and then I'm also gonna go around and make sure you go around the edge of the bat so it sticks together nice and tight.
And you did right from the start. Missing someone is as normal. Missing someone.
So a couple quick things. I found that if you just glue the top part of the bat together first, it's a little easier than trying to do it with the string inside. So just glue, make a little line on the top, glue it together, and then you can sort of feed the string in through the bottom, and then just glue the bottom here. If it's not quite lining up, go ahead and just trim it as you go, and then just keep going, alternating between bead and bat until you're all done. So once you've tied your last knot after your last bead, I'm just going to tie another loop like this, and then I'm just going to cut off the excess. Now I'm just going to clean up all these little hot glue gun little webs that are all over the place. And when you're done with that, you have your garland. So that is about it for this video. Remember to subscribe if you want to see more holiday time DIYs, and make sure you check out the description box below this video for links to products I used and links to the accompanying blog post. That is about it. I hope you have a wonderful Halloween. Please stay safe, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.
And you did right from the start.